The apartment was too cheap. That should have been the first sign. No security deposit. No ID check. Just a handshake with some guy in a wrinkled shirt who called himself the building manager, but never gave a name. He handed her the keys like he was glad to get rid of them. Lisa moved in the next day. It was on the 4th floor, end of the hall. A little too quiet. A little too clean. Like someone had scrubbed the life out of it. But it was furnished, affordable, and most importantly, available. So she didn't ask questions. Not when she noticed there was no apartment 403. Not when she found 4 mirrors mounted in strange spots. The hallway, the bedroom, the corner of the kitchen, and one full length in the living room. Not even when she realized they couldn't be taken down. She had other things to worry about. The mirrors were just part of the deal. The first time it happened, it was small. Lisa was heading to the kitchen when something caught her eye in the hallway mirror. She paused. Her reflection had already taken a step forward, a beat ahead of her. She laughed nervously. Maybe her head had moved first. Maybe she was tired. But the more she watched, the more it happened. The mirror wasn't behind. It was ahead. By a second. Sometimes 2. 3 days in, she was brushing her hair, staring into the bedroom mirror when her reflection's hand lifted before hers did. It held the brush longer, watched her closely. Lisa tested it, raised her left hand. The reflection did too, then smiled. Lisa hadn't. She told herself it was stress. Maybe she was hallucinating. Maybe the mirrors were warped or some kind of weird tech trick. But the more she tried to catch it, the more it felt intentional. Her reflection started doing things she didn't. It would tilt its head when she wasn't moving, frown when she was smiling. Sometimes it mouthed things she couldn't hear, like it was trying to warn her or mock her. On the 5th night, she watched herself in the living room mirror light a cigarette. Problem was, she doesn't smoke. And yet, there she was, inside the mirror, dragging on a cigarette that didn't exist in her hand. A long, slow, then a wink. Lisa stumbled back. The reflection held its gaze. She stopped looking after that. Covered the mirrors with bedsheets. Moved her morning routine to the bathroom, the only one with a medicine cabinet instead of a mirror. But it didn't help. That night, she walked past the hallway mirror, just a glance. In it, she saw herself standing in the living room, holding a kitchen knife. Her hands were shaking. She ran to check. Nothing there, but she checked the drawers. The knife was missing. She found it under the couch the next morning. She started filming herself. She placed her phone facing the living room mirror and hit record overnight. The next day, the footage showed her, sleeping on the couch, unmoving. But in the mirror, she was pacing, holding that same knife again. The audio didn't match. Lisa fast-forwarded in a panic. At 3:41 a.m., her reflection turned and looked directly at the phone, and smiled. Then the police showed up. A woman 2 floors down had been attacked in the parking garage. No witnesses, no video, but her description was troubling. Black hoodie, faded jeans, scratched wrist, brown hair in a messy bun. Lisa had been wearing that exact outfit the night before, down to the scratch on her wrist from bumping into the cabinet. She tried to explain, to deny it, but even as she spoke, she saw something shift in the hallway mirror behind the officer. Her reflection didn't look nervous. It looked proud. That night, Lisa stood in front of the living room mirror, heart racing. Why are you doing this?" she whispered. The reflection tilted its head, then slowly lifted one hand and dragged a finger across its throat. Lisa dropped the sheet, stepped back. When she checked her phone again the next morning, there was a message typed out in her notes app. She didn't write it. It read, "You watched. You waited. You let me in." Lisa started locking the knife drawer. It didn't make her feel safer, but it gave her a ritual, something to do before bed. Check the windows, check the door, lock the knives, tape the mirrors. The tape never stayed on. Every morning it peeled away, cleanly. No mess, no tear marks, like someone had removed it slowly, gently, like they didn't want to wake her. She started sleeping with the lights on. Didn't matter, the mirror still worked in the dark. The second crime wasn't a coincidence. This time there was blood. A man had been found in the stairwell 3 floors down, face smashed in, blood trailing across the concrete like someone had tried to drag him. Lisa heard the commotion the next morning. She stood behind her door, heart hammering, as police asked questions, knocked, moved on. She told herself it had nothing to do with her, until she checked the hallway mirror. There was blood on her hands, only in the reflection. She sprinted to the bathroom, scrubbed her skin raw, but there was nothing. Clean. Normal. Back in the hallway, her reflection still stared, fists red and dripping, and this time it was smiling. She threw a blanket over the mirror, sat on the floor, and cried until her chest hurt. When she finally looked again, the blood was gone, but something new had appeared, scratched into the frame's black wood in crooked letters. "Getting easier, isn't it?" Lisa didn't go outside for 2 days. She turned her phone off, left the blinds closed, and kept the TV on static just for sound. Her world shrank to the couch, the kitchen, and a loop of paranoia and silence. But the mirrors never left her alone. Every time she passed the kitchen one, she saw herself doing things she hadn't done, throwing a wine glass, cutting her own arm, writing names on a wall in what looked like blood. She started keeping a notebook of everything she saw. Names, times, movements. Just to prove to herself it wasn't real. But then she saw a name she recognized. Aaron Miles. A coworker she barely spoke to. In the mirror, Lisa saw herself grab Aaron by the hair and slam her face into a wall. In real life, Aaron didn't show up to work the next day. Lisa almost turned herself in. She stood in front of the mirror, holding her phone, ready to call 911, ready to say, "I think I'm losing time. I think I'm hurting people. I think I need help." But then her reflection looked up, shook its head slowly. No. It mouthed the word like a warning. "Don't." Lisa lowered the phone. She couldn't explain any of it. She didn't have evidence, not real evidence, just mirrors. She decided to film herself again. Just once more, this time live. She opened a video app, propped her phone up, and sat in front of the full-length mirror in the living room. She stared at her reflection. It stared back. Lisa raised her hand. Her reflection copied. She stuck out her tongue. Same. Then, the reflection leaned forward, closer to the glass. Lisa didn't move. The reflection smiled wide. Then, slowly, it lifted one hand and dragged a razor across its own cheek. Blood welled up, a deep, splitting red line. Lisa screamed, scrambled back, her hand flying to her face. But her cheek was fine. In the video recording, she was never touched. But in the mirror, that version of her was still bleeding and still smiling. An hour later, someone banged on her door, loud, angry. A man's voice. "I saw you! Think I could come see what you did?" Lisa opened the door a crack. It was Erin's boyfriend. He was pale, shaking, furious. Said someone had sent him a video, a clip of Lisa at Erin's door the night before, talking, laughing, then pushing her. Erin hadn't been seen since. Lisa had been asleep. She swore she had, but she couldn't prove it. That night, Lisa saw a new reflection. Not just herself, another body, lying behind her, motionless. Face bruised and slack. Lisa turned. Nothing there. But the mirror didn't lie. Not anymore. It showed what would be. She stopped sleeping. Started hearing footsteps at night. Slow, dragging steps behind her own. Whispers in the pipes. The mirrors clicked sometimes, like glass shifting under pressure. She found fingerprints, not hers, smaller, greasy, like they were left inside the glass. On the 7th night, Lisa sat cross-legged in front of the living room mirror. "I didn't do anything," she said. "I didn't do any of it." Her reflection tilted its head, amused. Then it mouthed, "Not yet."